Welcome to Contra Costa College Library's Jumpstart workshop on MLA citation style. In this video, we'll be going over why citation is important, 2 key strategies for using other people's ideas in your own work, plus how to get help with your citation questions from your CCC librarians, like me. In the first part of this video, I want to talk about some key reasons why it's important to use citations, going beyond because my instructor told me to. First of all, you make your argument stronger by citing the work of others. Second, it's important to acknowledge the work of others who have come before you. It's like a tip of the hat. Another reason for citing your work is that you allow others to see for themselves what brought you to the conclusions that you reached as you created your argument. Also, when you properly cite the work of others, you avoid plagiarism, which is taken really seriously in an academic context. And this reason is my personal favorite. Research is hard work, and your citations allow you to show off the treasures that you found along your research journey. The second part of this video talks about how to use other people's ideas responsibly. There are 2 main ways that you can use other people's ideas responsibly. The first of these is direct quotation, also known as someone else's words. You've probably already familiar with this idea since it's pretty common in academic writing. Here is what a proper in-text citation in MLA citation style should look like in the body of your paper when you are using a direct quotation. Notice the signal phrase, according to, and the author's name, Mundy. Notice also the quote marks and page numbers at the end of the sentence. We'll talk more in a little bit about the different patterns that you can use for in-text citations. But for now, just remember that when you use another author's words, you have to use the page number or its equivalent. Remember also that citations have 2 parts. There's the in-text citation in the body of your paper, and there's the full citation which you'll put in your works cited list at the end of the paper. This has details like the full title of the source, its author, when it was published, and more depending on the type of source you're using. Note also the hanging indent. That means that any second and third line is pushed over relative to the first line. The second way to use other people's ideas responsibly is paraphrasing. In other words, someone else's ideas, but your own words. Paraphrasing is a bit like a rock band covering a popular song. It's enough like the original that you recognize the main idea, but it's clear that it's not the original. Here is what a paraphrase could look like in MLA citation style. Notice that I didn't use a signal phrase, so I have to put the author of the source inside the parentheses with the page number. The rule of thumb that you should use: paraphrase whenever possible and use quotations only when the author's words are awesome. This is one of the most important skills that you are going to pick up in college, the ability to take an argument and distill it down to its most essential parts. So writing papers and doing proper citations are an important part of learning and practicing that skill. Something that confuses a lot of students is the fact that there is no one right way to do an in-text citation. They come in a lot of different flavors. Part of what you're doing when you write a research paper is you make stylistic choices as the author. What will make your argument clearer? What sounds best to you? Let's take a look at these 3 examples. In the first, I'm putting a slight emphasis on the fact that it is Wordsworth who is talking about romantic poetry. He's a famous poet, and so his opinion matters. Calling him out like this adds credibility to what I'm saying because of his fame and expertise. Because I used a signal phrase, Wordsworth stated, all that is inside the parentheses is the page number where the quotation came from. In the second example, the emphasis is more on the content of what is being said about romantic poetry. The lyrical power of the word choice is what's coming to the forefront here. Spontaneous overflow and powerful feelings. Because I didn't use a signal phrase with the author's name in it, I have to put it at the end in parentheses. In the third example, which is a paraphrase, I'm falling back on Wordsworth's expertise, but because I'm not using his lyrical wording, the argumentative power of this sentence isn't as strong as in the first example. So when you're preparing an in-text citation, think about what is the most important aspect of the material that you are using to make your point. Is it that these folks are experts? Is it the power of the words that they use, or is it something else? You get to make the choice to make your argument stronger. Now, what do you do when your source doesn't have a page number? Perhaps it comes from a website or an online video. Here are some tips for using direct quotations for sources without page numbers. If it's a video or a podcast, you can use the timestamp. For web pages with a named author or organization, just use the author or organization's name. And for web pages without a named author, use an abbreviation of the web page's title. And remember, your CCC librarians are here to help you with all aspects of MLA citation and using research sources in your writing. We have a research guide linked on our webpage that goes into way more detail about MLA citation style. Also, you can reach us by email, phone, and 24/7 chat on our webpage. Good luck with your assignment.